most careful, since you saw no shape when the Elohim Yahuwah spoke to you at Horeb out of the midst of the fire, not to act wildly and make for yourselves a sculptured image in any likeness, whatever the form of any man or woman. So here you go. So y'all done built up this anthropology worship of Hula and Mitchell, where y'all done deified him and venerated him to a position where we already know we know he ain't that. We just knew y'all was a whole bunch of mental health patients running around screaming Hula and Mitchell this and Hula and Mitchell that. Cause the man dead. The man died from booty cancer and neck cancer, man. So, and he cremated. And you know that. The man's death certificate is public record. Say he got cremated. But y'all keep saying, oh no, he ain't cremated. He on the other island like Tupac and all this other stuff. But we ain't even gonna get to that. Had to repent. Hula and beg for y'all. Beg for people and everybody to scream to help him. When he was in that case, he screamed to Farrakhan, all these people. Help me, help me. But y'all say he got. Why didn't he get himself out of the prison system? If he was God, he could have snapped his fingers, changed everything. But y'all say he got, it would have been peace.
Is Israel. And any name other than Israel for you is an abomination. That's the issue. The issue is your culture, your history, and your language is Hebrew. That's the issue. The issue is you're the nation of Israel. You're the children of the Most High, Yahweh, by blood, flesh, and bone. That's the issue. The issue is you have a land, all of North Africa, a small part that's called Israel today. It's just a piece of it. That's the issue. The issue is America is not our home. The issue is we must be set free and allowed to leave America and be restored as our nation Israel. That's the issue. The issue is there's not another man in America teaching your redemption, salvation, and reformation but me. Then who am I? I'll tell you who I am. Yahweh ben Yahweh. But she's going back to accuse me of being a slave. She's going to write the real man behind Yahweh ben Yahweh is this slave name. If I were still a slave, there would be no issue about me bringing you freedom. But is that the issue? That's not going to save anybody. What's the devil about? Accusing me of what? Misdeeds. Come on.
Accuse. To make an accusation against someone.
All right, look up accusation and then misdeed.
Accusation, an act of accusing, an allegation.
Allegations, they always say allege. Allege means it may or may not be true. No proof at all. Accuse a person without proof. Only a devil will do that. Come on.
A formal charge brought before a court against a person stating that he is guilty of some punishable offense.
That is what they're doing to me. And their court is public opinion. And when you put something in black and white that is not true and unverifiable, it is a formal charge before the court of public opinion. Look up Misdeed, and then allege.
Misdeed, a wicked, immoral, or illegal deed.
See what the devil has come to do? Accuse of misdeeds, to accuse me of wickedness, to accuse me of immorality. Huh? What a devil. The teacher of righteousness is suffering an enemy to come among us to ask me questions, not for our righteousness' sake, but to accuse us, to put in black and white, to put in print lies, assassinate my character in the minds of the public. You that fall for it, good. I think it's wonderful. If it makes you weak, great. I think it's fabulous. But you that are chosen will come through all of this, and we'll all be standing on Mount Zion together.
Book Talmishbuka, Shimi Akash Yahya Israel, Hayan Ethmatesh Yah Yehuda, Tehillah Yahweh, Tehillah Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Good morning, family. My name is Akazi Yisrael, and I exist from the tribe of Yehuda. Praise Yahweh, and praise Yahweh Ben Yahweh. This morning, right now, technically the first day of the week on the solar calendar, until March 16th, which is their Monday, or tomorrow, where the Sabbath shall move from Friday night to Saturday night. Praise Yahweh. This class right here, this first initial class, we will be addressing this wind chimer, this snare, this gentleman who goes by the name of Adonai 720. This person is hell-bent on causing destruction within the true disciples. He claims to follow the Torah, and he claims a lot of false accusations against Yahweh Ben Yahweh. One of his favorites is, oh, he was cremated. He was cremated. Well, we're going to be disproving that here today. Another of his famous tactics is he'll go after teachers like myself or any of my other brothers out here teaching this truth with harsh talk, harsh speech, and say things to try to entice anger, just as the devil does. But with this class here, we're putting it all to rest. He left a post on his page talking about the Yahweh Ben Yahweh delusion. Goes into making false accusations of us being in a deep sleep. Talking about how Yahweh Ben Yahweh don't allow us to read the Bible without him. Now we all know that's false. Yahweh always tells you to study to show yourself approved, and that you cannot make it into heaven on anyone's coattail. He tells you you need Bible thesauruses, you need dictionaries, you need, different thesauruses and synonym finders. You need concordance, and not just one. You need two or more, because sometimes they all don't have the same things in there. So a person who's telling you to grab all of these different tools to help further your knowledge is not telling you you can only read what we reading right now this week. He's always telling us to study, and not only that, to look at the news, study what's going on in the news, see if you can come to that point of research when you can actually start to use comparison of analytics. And then the most important thing he always told us is to be doers of the word. This young man at an 720 said that he even changed the law and made it into his own thing. Yahweh teaches the whole law. What law did he change? And he kept it. Why do you think Yahweh blessed him to produce a nation within 7 years of amassing over $250 million while making historical steps by owning the first beach property by a black man in America? He put Yahweh's name on everything. And then not only that, the businesses that he accomplished was all in his followers' names, never taking a dime for himself. People like you who go around and push all this false accusation is what make us slower to our exodus. Because you're so hell-bent and jealous that you're not in that seat of administrative powers. That's why you named yourself Lord 720. Because you think you're twice the Lord as Yahweh being Yahweh. But you can't even lick the dust off the soles of his feet. It's people like you that go around and you always like to read these false death certificates. Oh, you know he was crucified. You know he was cremated, right? You know he was cremated, right? Well, did you know that in the state of Florida, from the health department, it is illegal to release any documentation about a death certificate within 50 years of a person dying? Look it up. They do not release any detailed information about the death certificate until 50 years after a person has been deceased. Literally, it's in the law. And the only ones who can get that information is family and anyone who can write the state the health department out there to release that. You have to get a court order. Not only that, when you look it up, public records, right? It says no public record of being cremated, but it is notated that he was buried after a large following of 500 followers came. He was buried. You can look that up. It's there, it's documented. There is no public evidence or even credible reporting that even suggests cremation. But there are official accounts and witness reports of Yahweh ben Yahweh burial. It's even in our belief / law, again, which Yahweh taught, that it is rooted in our biblical duty to respect the body which we inhabit of Yahweh by having burials. Yahweh ben Yahweh is a leader. He is one that leads from the front. Why would he mandate his servants, all who pass along the journey of learning the truth and conforming to righteousness, to be buried, but he go get cremated? That makes no sense. So again, you're a liar. You go around and you spread false information. You talk big and you like to use megalomaniac, but you're a viper and a snake. It's so crazy how you can go around and spread these false documentations when, again, when you look it up, there is no public release of his death certificate. So that little false AI imagery you passing around is fake because, again, it states in the law when a person dies, 50 years. So when his death certificate would be released unto the public's records would be 2057 on the devil's calendar, and last time I checked, it's 2026 by now. So again, liar. But we shouldn't be surprised because in the Bible it tells us in Job chapter 1, verse 6, right, through 11, as well as 2, verse 1 through 5. We're going to read those. Now there was a day when the sons of God Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence cometh thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, because he's submissive. He got to answer. He got to answer. From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in all the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that respects God Yahweh, and escheweth, hateth with a deep passion evil. Then Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, Does Job fear God Yahweh for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all the things that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the works of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Job chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Again, there was a day when the sons of God Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord Yahweh. See, now it's talking in a different case, in a different matter. Before, it said, and Satan came also, right? And now it's saying again, and there was a day, right? This is a whole new scenario right now. It's talking about this day right here. When the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself. To prove this again. In chapter 1, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, well, let's go up. Now there was a day when the sons of God Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. See, he didn't present himself here, but he presented himself now in chapter 2. It says so right there. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord Yahweh. See, two different situations here. First time, he tried to come and slither in, tried to hide and camouflage. But you see, now that the Son has been crucified and buried, not cremated, in his tomb, now Satan comes to present himself as a direct opposer. Okay. Well, let's continue on reading. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence cometh thou? And Satan again, he has to answer the Lord Yahweh. And he said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou judged my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, and one that respects Yahweh, and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity. Oof. Although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord Yahweh, and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man have, he will give for his life. But put forth thy hands now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So, understand, brothers and sisters, this man, Adonai, is put here to test you. To test how deep is your knowledge of Yahweh. Is it deep enough to root you in Yahweh's hand where you can't be removed? Or are you just particles that is in the hand that when the wind blows, you go where the wind goes? To be a servant of Yahweh is about ayin beth daleth, which means to work, bond, service, be like the husbandman, keep, and bring things to pass. When looking at the one that they call Yeshua, our brother Yeshua, a great and righteous prophet, his job was to speak on the things that the Son of Man would do and to give us clear, indicated evidence of how to make out that one. That's what his job was. Proof? Well, when you look at the name Jesus in this in the concordance, it tells you it's Greek number 2424 Jehoshua. There ain't no J in Hebrew, so Yehoshua, right? And then it tells you to go to 3091 of the Hebrew reference. When you do that, it'll tell you Yehoshua, the Hebrew leader. Again, we're not Jewish, so we say the Hebrew leader. But it also says it's the name of 2 or 3 other Israelites in the Bible alone. So when he says in John 5:43, right? Let's run over there really quick. Because when we're out here doing battle, you have to be ready. Right? You got to be ready for it all to come down. All right. John 5. We're going to start here at 38 to 47. And ye have not his word abiding in you, for whom he hath sent, him ye believe not. Search the scriptures, for in them ye think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, Yahweh ben Yahweh. And ye will not come to me, that ye might have life. I receive not honor from man, but I know you, that ye have not the love of God Yahweh in you. I am come in my Father's name, Yahweh. Let's read that part again. But I know you. See, Yahweh ben Yahweh. See, God, he know you, Adonai. He know you. He know you. You and everybody else like you, spreading this false news, spreading these false teachings, out here trying to cause you a snare and a trap. And Yahweh says, oh, I know you. Oh, I know you. You have not the love of Yahweh in you. I come in my Father's name, Yahweh, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from God, Yahweh only? Do not think that I will accuse you to my Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Well, Yahweh ben Yahweh is speaking. Can't you hear it? Can't you hear it? He says, I come, and this is a clear distinction. This is how you know this is not talking about Yeshua. He's writing the words that what the Messiah is going to say. He said, I come in my Father's name. He didn't say, I come in my Father's will only, and my name is still. He didn't say that. He says, I come in my Father. Well, what's the Father's name? Yahweh. What does son mean in Hebrew? Ben also means builder of the house. Yahweh, son, builder of the house of Yahweh. That's what Yahweh ben Yahweh means. And you say you love Yahweh, but then you call upon Yah El Haka, which is an Arabic name for John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was a great prophet, yes, but he was not the great light. So you call upon names that are not the true name.
Oh, these brothers my guys, know that we fly, know that they ride or die. Why they wanna move like that? Where you want gone? Why you want act like that? Why you play hard? No rush, go and move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love into peace and
and you go around and you hide behind this false documentation. Let's continue. You also said that's why he was out there crying out to Pharaoh, crying out to Pharaoh, crying for all y'all to repent for him, because he got cremated. He got cremated. Well, we already proved that cremation was a lie. Now I'm going to prove to you something else. Luke 23, verse 32 to 35 and 37 to 43. Luke 23, verse 32 to 35, as well as verse 37 to 43. Praise Yahweh. And there were also two other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and one on the left. Then said Yahweh ben Yahweh, Father Yahweh, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And as they parted his raiment and cast lots. And the people stood beholding the rulers also with them, deriding him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he be the Christ, if he be the Mashiach, the chosen, the Chodeshe, Shel Yahweh. You said the same thing. If he was really God, he could have just snapped his fingers and got up out of prison. But you see, he ain't.
Why didn't he get himself out of the prison system? If he was God, he could have snapped his fingers, changed everything. But y'all say he got.
You saying the same thing, man. You see, I got you. I know who you is. I got you. These are your words. And I got videos of you saying these things out of your mouth that I'm going to post as well with this class. So people can know that these are not my words. Now, I'm not profaning your character. I'm just shining the light on it. You said the same thing. It's right here. Would you look at that? Lied about the crucifixion by saying he was cremated. Right? Okay. And then we're finding out that you talking like these same people talking. Okay? And then you say you love, I don't ever hear you say Yahweh's name, but I see you write it in Hebrew. Yahweh, YHWH, but you don't have any honor for the one that Yahweh sent. That's 3 strikes. You already out, bro. But we'll go ahead and continue. Again, 35. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with him, deriding him. So the people and the rulers are saying this. He saved others, let him save himself, if he be the chosen of God, Yahweh. Verse 37 through 43. And saying, if thou be the king of the Hebrews, save thyself. And a superscription was also written over him in letters of Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. This is the king of the Hebrews. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, if thou be the Christ, save thyself and us. But the other answered him, rebuking him, saying, does not thou fear Yahweh, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds, but this man, Yahweh ben Yahweh, hath done nothing amiss. And he said unto Yahweh ben Yahweh, Adonai, remember me, Achaziah, when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Yahweh ben Yahweh said unto him, truly, truly, I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Praise Yahweh. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth. 6 represents the last day of creation. Everything was created. Man, beast, food, air, everything. Dominions, all of it. Because the 7th day would happen, Yahweh rested. So this 6th hour is very powerful. And there was a darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. Now, 9th represents completion. A baby is born usually in the span of 9 months. Completion. Here we go. Praise Yahweh. Now let's look at Luke chapter 20, verse 9 through 15, as well as verse 15 through 18. Praise Yahweh. Don't worry, fam. We're going to get to it. Luke 20, verse 9 through 15, and 15 through 18. Then began he to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and led it forth to husbandmen, and went into a far country for a long time. Right now, we are in that far country. This is a direct symbolic referencing of the younger brother going off into that far off country, right? We'll take a look at that, or I'll post that in the comments. Show you this connection. But just listen. Then began to speak to the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard and led it forth to a husbandman, and went into a far country for a long time. And at the seasons he sent a servant to the husbandman, that they should give him of the fruit of the vineyard. But the husbandman beat him and sent him away empty. And again he sent in another servant, and they beat him also, and entreated him shamefully, and sent him away empty. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also, and cast him out. Then said the Lord of the vineyard, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son, Yahweh ben Yahweh. It may be that he will reverence him when they see him. But when the husbandmen saw him, they reasoned amongst each other, saying, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. Wow. You see the picture? You see, here we are, we off in this far off country with that vineyard. Yahweh has sent prophets and messengers in the past trying to stir up Israel, but they were beaten and destroyed. It's swept away. Yahweh sent himself as the Son. Once amongst us to teach us, show us, reconcile us. And what happened? These snakes, these snares, these traps, the government, the rulers, and the people said, "Oh look, that's the heir." How we know? Well, he has the same name as God, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yeah, us in secret, we really know who he is because there's only one person who's going to come in that name. Come and reveal. Let us kill him. We have the heir. We have it. We have him right here. Look at that. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What therefore the Lord of the vineyard do unto them? He shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and he shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, Yahweh forbid. And he beheld them and said, what is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. And whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. You're going to be grounded as powder because you try to kill the true inheritor, the true son, genuine vine, the first begotten of the dead, the one to restore, the one to bring back to memory, the one to deliver his people. You seek to destroy this man's name for no reason. Let's go ahead and take a look at Matthew chapter 27, verse 42 through 49. I know I said I was going to try to keep this short, but I'm literally right now, we are at the end where now we're just going through scriptures proving these words. That's it. So if you love Yahweh, I'm pretty sure you're having a good time right now. But if you one of those Yahweh ben Yahweh haters, you just gonna click through the video because now you being proven wrong. You don't like the feeling of being uncomfortable in your deceit. So you'll just click through it. You won't watch the whole thing. But for those of us who love Yahweh, oh, I know we eating this up right now. This is delicious, ain't it? Praise Yahweh. We getting to it. And don't worry, the next videos, we're going to be going in. I'm going to give you a little hint into the conspiracy of the matter. Oh, yeah. We're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 27, verse 42 through 49. He saved others himself. He saved others himself. He saved others. Himself, he cannot save. If he be the king of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, or let him come out of prison like a snap of your finger, right? Okay. Let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in Yahweh, and let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God, Yahweh, right? That's what you, right? That's what everybody be saying. If he was truly the Son of God, why didn't he just snap his fingers and just get out of prison? Same thing, man. Look, I got you right here, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's read this again. He saved others. Himself he cannot save. If he be the king of Israel, let him now come down from the prison. And, because when you look up cross, it brings you to stockade. Stockade brings you to prison. So it's talking about prison right here. You ain't talking about no wooden cross. When he's physically nailed. No. It's talking about prison. Just in case of y'all who don't know that. That's why you need different concordances and dictionaries, thesauruses, and synonym finders that Yahweh encourage you to have so that you can actually understand what you're reading. That's for those who don't know Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Because those of us who do, we study. We get down to it. He trusted in Yahweh and let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the son of God, Yahweh. Right? The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour, there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, Yahweh ben Yahweh cried with a loud voice, saying, Elohim, Elohim, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my Father, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Some of them that stood there, when they heard that, said, this man called for Elijah? And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on the reed and gave it to him to drink. The rest said, let be. Let us see whether Elijah will come to save him. Yahweh ben Yahweh, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. Wow. Mark chapter 15, verse 31 to 37. Mark chapter 15, verse 31 to 37. Likewise, also the chief priests mocking said amongst themselves with the scribes, he saved others, himself he cannot save. Let Christ, the King of Israel, right? Christ, again, is a name, it's a title, it's an epithet, it's not a name. So we're going to use the Hebrew, right? Let the Mashiach, the King of Israel, descend now from prison, that we may see and believe. And they were crucified with him, reviled him. And when the 6th hour has come, there was darkness over the whole land until the night. And the 9th hour, Yahweh ben Yahweh cried with a loud voice, saying, Elohim, Elohim lama sabachthani, which is being interpreted as my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And some of them that stood by, and when they heard it, said, behold, he calleth Elijah. He wasn't calling Elijah. He was calling Elohim, my God. But you see, they were so ignorant, and they were just so focused on watching this man suffer for things he did not do and hyping each other up, that they started to make assumptions. Because he says, my God. Eli or Elohim is what? God. My God. Why have you forsaken me? Praise Yahweh. Let's take a look at John chapter. No, I already read to you. I feel like we already read John chapter 5, verse 38 to 47. So let's take a look at Matthew chapter. You know what? The other account, before we even look at those other scriptures. You said he called out to Pharaoh and the Masons and all of that stuff. He called out to, people to repent for him and all of that stuff. Let's go take a look at that. Luke chapter, you know what? Let's go to Mark chapter 14, verse 32, because we already at Mark. Mark chapter 14, right? Verse 32 to 36. Right? Mark chapter 14, verse 32 and 30 to 36. And they came to a place which was named Gethsemane. And he saith to his disciples, Sit ye here, while I shall pray. And he taketh with him Peter and James and John. And he began to be sore amazed and to be very heavy. Something is weighing on him. Is weighing him down. He said, I gotta just pray real quick. I gotta ask Yahweh something real quick. Check this out. And said unto them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and watch. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Yahweh, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. Wow. And when he come and he findeth them sleeping, he said unto Peter, Simon, Sleepest thou? Couldst not thou watch 1 hour? Watch ye and pray lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. This cup, when you look it up in the Greek reference number, is G4221. He said, remove this cup from me. Wow. All right. Luke chapter 22, verse 42 through 44. (42 to 44). Reads, saying, Yahweh, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. Being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as if it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. I mean, this is really bothering him. It's right here in the scriptures that he would be really bothered at that time, trying to get this situation taken from him, but without losing the will that he came to do. But you see, it had to be done. But the human mind, man, the brain does everything to try to self-preservation. So, he's at the end of this mission, and now it calls for this great sacrifice. And though he knows he has to do it, the natural instincts of the brain is to protect self. He's like, oh man, it's weighing heavy on me. Again, saying, Yahweh, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will. Don't take away my will. Just take away this feeling. This oh man, this feeling. Just take it away. Right? And he says, but thine be done. And as he's sitting there and he's praying these things, an angel appeared unto him from heaven, strengthening him, letting him know it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's all part of the mission. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. And he being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat was as if it was great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he arose up from the prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow. And he said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. And guess what? Right after that, it was the betrayal and the arrest, right? Wow. Just a wow. And with that, and that was Luke 22, yep. And then Luke 24, verse 45 through 49. Luke 24, verse 45 through 49. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures, and said unto them, thus is it written, and thus is behooved Yahweh ben Yahweh to suffer, and to rise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem, and ye are witnesses of these things. And behold, I send the promise of my Father Yahweh upon you. But tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem, until ye be endured with power from on high. Then is the ascension. Praise Yahweh. So with that being said, this is that first class. And again, this was really aimed at Mr. Adonai 720. But not only that, not only for him, but for any non-believers out there that's going out into the world and causing snares and traps for our people. Understand, the information that you so-called passed and searched was false documentation to push your agenda and be proved with the Bible. What you said was the exact same thing that the people and the rulers said against the Son of Man. So with that note, I pray that you repent like hell and you use that same energy to humble yourself, pray over yourself. But from your type of character, I can tell you probably won't. But you know what? That's between you and Yahweh ben Yahweh, the judge. We all have to make a decision over our life, and I pray you make the best decision over yours. I will not be replying to any other videos or posts you may post up because it's a waste of my time. We already showed who you are. Now I'm going to continue walking forward. In the next thing, with this next video, what we're going to be doing, again, it's going to be dealing with conspiracy. Where people like you get these things from the government, our open enemy, and they run with it as if it's truth. We will be disproving further and further. But on that note, family, y'all have a wonderful day. I'm sure y'all gonna love this class. For those of us who love Yahweh, ben Yahweh, who love Yahweh, and understand that when the sons of God came to present ourselves, we cannot be so foolish and child-minded to think that Satan did not come as well. But Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh, ben Yahweh. Shalom, shalom.